Sustainable change. The 6 elements which Scheninger believes drive sustainable change begin, not surprisingly, with connectedness through social media and forming professional partnership networks. Page 65 to 67, 2014. The second element is a coherent and forward-thinking vision. That vision must be forward-thinking and progressive, and it must be defined by all of the stakeholders who will implement the technology-supported education. The next element is vital, and it deals with value. The stakeholders must attach value to technology's inclusion in the educational process. If they do not attach value to it, it's not going to be sustained and it will not last. This value must be seen as a key to increasing student engagement and the ability to conceptually demonstrate what they're learning. The next element is building a strong and solid support structure. And it's also essential to sustaining change. There's nothing more detrimental to technology change than constant problems with cyber access on the part of teachers or students. I experienced one environment where I was afforded a smart board in my classroom. It's one of my, let's say, most memorable experiences that I remember it vividly. I could use this, I could see how the tool could be used in my classroom. However, after I was taught to use the board, I was forced to put it aside. It would work for one portion of a class, and then it would stop working, and I would have to call the IT department. They would come in, usually after school, and work on it and say it was working again. And then I would go on the next day, and it would either try to work or it wouldn't work, and it wouldn't start at all. This went on for about 3 weeks, and finally I gave up using it. They never could find out what was wrong with it. It was an old smart board, and they didn't want to replace it, so they just, I don't know, whatever. The fifth element is professional development, and it's also a vital aspect of promoting and sustaining change. Including great innovative tools for use in classroom environments, it's great and it's wonderful, but there has to be ongoing training so digital tools can be used to their maximum benefit for the teachers. The last element Scheninger speaks of is embracement. And this is different than buy-in, in that teachers are not forced to use technology but are free to experiment with its usage in their area of expertise. I've been in a school climate where teachers were empowered and they were allowed to embrace the technology, but they were not forced to use it. And though this required a bit of experimentation, it was fun, and it produced great learning experiences between the teacher and the students, and it just created a good atmosphere in my classroom. The whole idea of embracement is modeled by Jesus, who came to this world to offer life if we choose to accept it. John 3:16, 1 John 1:9. God doesn't force anyone to use or accept his gift, but he gives all men the free will to choose. And it's amazing what happens when you allow people to use instead of forcing them to do something. I cannot comment on applying the Scheininger's concepts to change due to the fact that I'm not currently in a teaching position in a district. And when I look at changes I have seen in various districts, I believe the most effective are those which have sound and effective and efficient technology infrastructures, as well as encouraging empowerment among educational adults. The role of data in driving change can be either positive or negative. I believe some data which purports to be coming from research can actually be biased or skewed, as well as not being sound morally. I think we need to look at the data in light of the bigger picture of producing morally sound and wise young people who come out with common sense. Thank you.